June 1992. Summer was settling over Springfield, Missouri, and the class of 92 was preparing to graduate, with the start of the rest of their lives staring them head-on. Janice McCall recalls memories of her soon-to-graduate daughter, Stacy.
She was a hoot. You guys would have loved her. I mean, she's kind of a real bubbly and fun person, and she was always out to help her friends and do anything for an underdog. Even if she didn't know him, if it was somebody that was getting picked on, she would help and let them know that that wasn't appropriate.
Stacy graduated from Kickapoo High School on June 6th alongside her many friends, including Janelle Kirby and Suzie Streeter.
About 8:30, after she had graduated and after we'd gone out to eat and then came home, and she says, "I've got to hurry." And I said, "Well, we're going to take some pictures in the backyard." And she says, "Mom, I don't have time for that."
Stacy, like any fresh graduate, wanted to go out with her friends to celebrate. Stacy and Suzie hit the town that night, attending graduation parties and celebrating their accomplishments.
They were at their friend Janelle Kirby's house, and they decided to leave. She had people in from out of town, and it was too crowded there. And Suzie said, "Why don't we just spend the night, at my house?"
Well, after 10 o'clock the next morning, when she didn't call, I called Janelle's house. I talked to Kathy and I said, "Kathy, did Stacy not stay there?" And she said, "No, she decided at the last minute to go spend the night with Suzie."
Janice decided to visit Suzie and her mother Sherill's home, along with a group of others that evening when she still hadn't been able to contact her daughter. But before Janice left, a mother of one of Stacy's friends stopped by.
Adina's mom came over and she says, "I don't know if you're aware of it, Janice, but did you know their cars are all there, their purses are there, their keys are there, but the girls aren't there and they haven't been there all day?" And I said, "No, I didn't."
Janice recalls what she saw when arriving to the home.
I could see the cars in the driveway, and I could see Cheryl's car in the carport. I went up and I knocked on the door, and the rest of the people were kind of following me. And I rang the doorbell and I knocked again. I opened the door and pushed it open, and it was dark inside because all the window shades were drawn and everything looked dark.
The home was clean, just as Sherill kept it. The only abnormality was the busted globe around the porch light. It was like the three women simply stepped out for a walk, planning to return in a few minutes, but they never did.
I still was expecting her to come in any day and have something, somehow they were going to turn up. I knew that. They weren't going to be gone for a long time. I had no idea it was going to be a week. I had no idea that it was going to turn into a month, into several months, into 6 months, into a year, and now we're at 29 years. It's really difficult when that happens.
3 women disappeared. It just doesn't happen like that. Like, that doesn't happen. There was this thought that somebody has to know what happened. You can't just have 3 women disappear. Someone knows what happened.
The course of life for anyone who knew the 3 women was forever changed. Stacy's family's life was forever changed. Janice's life was forever changed. If there's one thing we can learn from this story, it is that we must always stay vigilant.
From early age, children and grown-ups should have code words. Anything that would be completely, if you were calling somewhere and you wanted to let your mom know that there was something not right at all, and even if somebody has their gun pointed at their head, just say, "I did eat that peanut butter sandwich." If your code word's peanut butter, then you've said it. Get that out to youngsters and make sure they take identification. They take their phones. At least you all have cell phones now. That's good. And they didn't have them back then. You're lucky.
It all comes back to, that vulnerability I think we all feel. Life is random sometimes, and violent and unlucky and sad and tragic. And whatever happened, it's definitely tragic. These three women just disappeared. They were there and then they weren't.